Okay, today we're going to talk about solving equations that involve multiple steps. First, we're going to have to simplify the equations before we can solve them. So let's look at example 1 here. We have negative 23 equals 8z plus 1 plus 4z. Now, if you look closely, on the right side, we can combine these like terms. Remember, you're always supposed to remove parentheses first, but we don't have that on this problem. And then you always have to look at each side and make sure it's completely simplified. The left side is completely simplified, but as we were just saying, on the right side we have like terms, 8z and 4z. So let's combine those together. We have 8z and 4z, and that's just going to give us 12z. Then, of course, we would bring down the plus 1. Now from here, it's just a regular equation, and we can start solving it. Because we don't have variables on both sides, we have the z just on this side, and we're ready to go. So first, always move away whatever's being added or subtracted. So I'm going to move the plus 1 by subtracting 1, and that gives me negative 24 equals 12z, and then to get z completely by itself, I have to move the 12. 12 is being multiplied by z, so that I have to undo that by dividing both sides by 12. And so that'll give me z equals negative 2. And that's our solution. Now remember, you can always check your solution by going back to the original equation and putting negative 2 in every time you see a z. And when we do that here, we get negative 16 plus 1 plus negative 8, which when you add left to right gives you negative 23. So that one checks because the left side equals the right side. Okay, let's look at example 2. Again, this is another one where we don't have to worry about parentheses, but let's look at each side and make sure it's completely simplified. Well, on the left side we have 4x. There's nothing we can do there. And on the right side we have 2x plus 14, and there's nothing we can do there because those are not like terms. So what we have to do is notice that there's x terms on the left side and x terms on the right side. Now remember, these are two separate sides. So you cannot combine 4x plus 2x because that's not a plus between them. There's an equal sign separating them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of the x terms and move it. And if you notice, it's going to be a little easier if we go ahead and move the 2x over here. That way we'll have the x's on the left side, and then we'll be left with 14 on the right side. So to move the 2x, I have two positive x's. I'm going to subtract 2 x's. And when I do that, I'll get 2x on the left side. And of course, 2x minus 2x is 0. And so I'm just left with the 14. To finish solving this, I divide both sides by 2, and I get x equals 7. Now, let's look down here at example 3. Now, this is an example where I do have to clear parentheses first, using the distributive property. Remember, this means I have to multiply 3 by everything on the inside. Okay? 3 times x plus 2 simply means I have 3 sets of x plus 2's. So I have 3 x's, which is 3x. I have 3 sets of 2's, which is 6. And all I did was multiply. 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 2 is 6. And then from here, there's no like terms to combine, so we can just start solving. I subtract 6 from both sides, and I get 3x equals 9, and then I divide by 3 to get x completely by itself, because that would make those cancel out, and so I have x equals 3, and that's my answer. And you can easily check that by going back to the original problem. Instead of x plus 2, you could put 3 plus 2, because we want to make sure that 3 is the correct solution. And that will work because you're going to have 3 times 5, which does equal 15, so that does check. Okay, let's go to our blackboard right here and work on some of these. Try these over here. Now, in this first one, you don't have any parentheses to worry about, so we don't have to worry about that. But we need to look at each side and make sure it's completely simplified. Well, there's nothing to do with the left side, 155, but on the right side we have these d's. Remember, this is just 1d, and this is 1d. Well, we can combine those together. We have 1d plus 1d, and that's just going to give me 2d. So I'll have 155 equals 2d minus 1. And then from here, we can just start solving it. We have the d is just on one side. We don't have d's on two different sides, so we're ready to go. So let's move away whatever's being added or subtracted first, or as I say it sometimes, move away what's least attached to the d, which is the minus 1. So I'm adding 1 to both sides, and that's going to give me 156 equals 2d. And to get d by itself, divide by 2, since I was multiplying by 2, and that gives me the answer 78. So d equals 78. Okay, on this one, number 3, under the try these, I don't have parentheses to worry about. And there's nothing to do on the left side. There's nothing to do on the right side. You cannot combine 3b minus 18. But I have b's on 2 different sides, and I've got to get them on the same side. So let's look what we can do. If we take the 3b over here, then we'll have the b's on the left side and the negative 18 on the right side. So I'm going to do that. If I have positive 3b's, I'm going to take away 3b's on each side. Remember, if you want to draw a line down there, you can to separate the left side from the right side. And that'll give me 6b equals, that cancels out, and I'm just left with negative 18. To get b by itself, you divide by 6, and that gives you b equals negative 3. And we'll look at the other examples on another video.